I'm Monica Poole, I'm here at Sew Easy, and I'm going to show you how fun it is to do fusible applique. Now, applique is a great way to be able to embellish your quilts, handbags and clothing, and it's really easy to do. So today I'm going to show you some products using SewEasy Easy Fix and also a SewEasy Nonstick Applique Mat. This is SewEasy Easy Fix. Now you can see one side of it is nice and smooth and the other side is rough. Now that side there is your fusible web of glue. Now one of the great things about Easy Fix is that you'll never get the web of glue separating from the paper. Now to use this product, what you do is you place the glue side, so that's the rough side, down onto your pattern. So for this example here, I'm going to do a nice little lady beetle there, like I've got there. So you place it down with the rough side onto the pattern sheet, and I'm going to just trace out the body of the lady beetle. I'm just using a 2B lead pencil for my tracing. Now once you've traced that out, you actually roughly cut around the edge of the shape. So don't cut exactly on that pencil line, so just cutting around the edge. So that's a couple of millimeters or 1/8 of an inch around the edge of the shape there. The reason why you wouldn't cut the shape exactly at this point in time is because that would actually be a little bit of a waste of time, because we're going to cut it perfectly once it's onto the fabric. Now I'm going to iron the rough side onto the wrong side of the applique fabric. So I'm using a grey here for the lady beetle's body. Now just before I iron that on, I'm actually going to show you about the SewEasy Non-Stick Applique Mat. Now an applique mat is a must. It will protect your iron from glue and we don't want any spills of glue happening. So you just place that on top and then just iron it. Now you use a dry iron when you're ironing the SewEasy onto your applique shape. Now you'll see that that has now glued onto your fabric, and this is where you'll cut it out nice and neatly and exactly on your marked line. Now by doing this, the glue will actually fuse to the fibres of the fabric, so you'll get less fraying by using your applique in this particular way. Okay, so there's my body of my lady beetle, and just previously I've already got my wings traced out. Now here's a really good trick when you're doing an applique shape which is layered. So you can see in this example here, I've got the body and then I've got the wings on top. So you can use your applique mat for this. So what you do is you sit that on top of your pattern sheet and then you peel away the paper backing. So sometimes you just might need to get your nails in there just to separate those layers. There we are. Now when you peel away the paper, that leaves the fusible web of glue on your fabric there. So I'm going to lay that down and position that in place where the body goes, and then I'm going to use the iron just lightly just to hold that in place. Now the next thing that gets layered on are these lower wings here. So I've already removed the paper from that piece there, and so I can position that, and then here's my other one here. And that one goes on the other side there. Just a nice little iron there in place. And then I've got my wings. One there. And then one on the other side there. So positioning them like that. Now you can actually see, and I'll just show you there, that the upper wings overlap the under wings just by about a couple of millimeters or 1/8 of an inch there. So you can iron that on. Now, you can see there we have the shape. Now what you do is you then just peel off the whole lady beetle. That'll come off in one piece, perfectly positioned there, and then you can just pop that onto your background fabric there. Now there's your fusible web of glue on the wrong side of your fabric, so just position where you'd like your lady beetle to go, and then just once again using your applique mat, just sit that on top and give that a press like that. There we are. Now your applique shapes, they're all fused onto the background fabric, ready to stitch around the edge. Now to stitch around the edge of your applique shapes, you can either use machine. So on this example here, this is one of my quilts here, and I've used machine embroidery stitches around the edge. So this one here is a layered design also. So I've got the under petals there, and then I've got my curved petals. Now they are underlapping these petals only just slightly, like I showed you with the wings before, and then the circle, center circle goes on top, and once again that's just covering the edge of your fabric, because you don't want too many layers of fabric together because it will get a little bit too thick. Now I've used different stitches, so here I've used like a nice little what I call a grass stitch, a double-sided grass stitch, and then I've stitched the outer petals there using a straight edge grass stitch, and then a nice little bead stitch around the edge, so that will keep the edges of the fabric nice and secure. You can also use blanket stitch, so this one here I've blanket stitched by machine. Once again, this one here I've actually layered, so my dog's body, that went down first, and then I've popped on top the inner ears and the eyes, and then his snout there with his nose and his little chest there. So I've just blanket stitched around the edge, and then I've used a triple straight stitch down the bottom here just to stitch in the detail lines of his legs and feet there. You can also stitch by hand, so this is a very popular way to do your blanket stitching. So just blanket stitching around the edge by machine, and then you can just sort of do some little straight stitches there to stitch in any detail, and some little knots there for the bird's eyes, and some straight stitches for the beak. So that's applique using SewEasy Easy Fix.